Welcome to the Business Spotlight series. My name is Mike Torrez. I'm a senior partner here with ActionCOACH in Central Iowa. Today we have Andrew Cowden with Keystone Inspections as our guest. Today we are going to be talking about his business, journey to the business, ownership challenges, best practices, and share a peek into what it's really like to build and operate a business. If this is your first time on the channel, be sure to like and subscribe and get notifications when we drop new conversations just like this one. So Andrew, welcome and thank you for being here today. Please give us a brief overview of your background and tell us a little bit about your business.
All right. Well, thanks, Mike. Thanks for the invite. I appreciate the chance to talk to you guys. So I've got a background in construction and remodeling. I've been in the construction industry for about 20 years total. And almost 8 years ago, I decided the 9 to 5 workforce wasn't really my thing. And so I decided to take the experience that I had and move that into owning my own business. And I started my home inspection business from scratch. So I've kind of built this from the ground up. I started out part-time and then I went full-time with the home inspection business in 2020 of all years, the best, during a pandemic, let's start full-time business. So yeah, it's been a fun experience and lots of learning along the way.
Oh yeah, ownership has its wins and its challenges, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So let's set the stage for our viewers and listeners. Generally speaking, what does your current ownership structure look like? Are you a sole founder, owner, or are there outside investors?
Nope, it is just me. I started just myself, and I'm structured as a LLC. So um, it is just me. I don't have any employees at this point. I'm growing to the point where might possibly need to look into that this year. But as of now, I am the sole proprietor. When you call me, I'm the one that answers the phone. I'm the one that shows up and does the inspection. So I'm your guy.
All right. Well, then you have all the hats, right? That's one of our
Yeah.
questions is, but you just answered it. You wear every hat right now.
Yep. I wear all the hats right now. So
So when looking at your role, how many hours do you spend working in your business, your job, and how many hours would you say on the business, your strategies, planning, etc.?
so actual inspection time, let's say, when I do a home inspection, average is about 2 hours per inspection. I try to do two of those a day. So I'm on site for 2 hours, and then I have about an hour on the back end, just cleaning stuff up, writing the report, making sure everything's exactly how I want it to be. Um, so if I do 2 inspections a day, I'm at 6 or 7 hours. And then I, especially during the slow times, I try to, do some networking, build relationships that are going to help me in the future. Cause it's a long-term game, business ownership, and you have to invest in the future on a consistent basis. Cause that's what's going to pay the bills in the future, I guess.
Yeah. Well, who primarily does your business serve? If I were in the audience, how would I know if I were a good fit for your service?
So primarily I work with people that are buying a home. It's normally pre-purchase home inspections that I do. I do get into the commercial side just a little bit. Most of those referrals come from realtors or mortgage brokers. So I work a lot hand in hand with real estate people. So a lot of realtors, a lot of mortgage lenders, And those are the relationships that I build during my off time to kind of forward my business.
Nice. So you're focused on the strategic partnerships right now?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, what makes your business unique? Why do your customers choose you?
So one of the things that I've learned as a business owner is that no one is going to care about my business like I care about my business. So with an employee, yes, I have an employee. They might be fully bought into what we do and what our mission is, but at the end of the day, they don't have the care that I bring to the table. That's one of the things that I like about being a small time, single owner, is that when somebody calls Keystone Home Inspections, I'm the one that answers the phone. I'm the one that meets them at the property, that inspects the house, walks them through any questions they have, and it's that care and quality that I bring to the table. And I do everything in house. So if they're wanting to do a sewer scope, for example, I'm the one that does that. I don't subcontract that out. And so because of that, I have complete control over the quality that goes into that. And that's kind of what sets me apart. I know there's other inspectors in the area that will subcontract stuff out like that, sewer scopes, radon testing, and I do everything in house.
Okay, nice. That leads us to our next question. What is one thing you wish more people knew about your business?
Um, well, one thing that I fight with constantly is people are buying a new house and they say, well, it's a new house, I don't need a home inspection, right? That's not quite accurate. So I wish more people knew that even though it's a brand new house, there still can be issues. Most of the time it's something that somebody just missed. And having that fourth or fifth set of eyes on that property as a uninterested third party, to look at everything overall, that can protect yourself in the long run.
Well, let's speak a little bit about marketing, which is something that is vital for every businesses out there. And often the area many business owners struggle with, right? I am always curious what successful businesses are doing. What percentage of your monthly sales typically invest back into your marketing budget?
So that's something that is something that I'm really working on this year. That's something that I haven't been the greatest about in past years. I have done a little bit of marketing, whether it's trying to find direct leads or sponsored stuff on Facebook. So this year I've really been focusing, or my goal is to focus on working on that marketing a little bit better. I'm still looking for quote the best option out there,
Yeah.
maybe. Um, but yeah, as a business owner, that's something that I've maybe not done the greatest in the past, but I definitely see a need for it, and so that's my major goal for 2024 is to move forward and figure out the best way to grow comfortably, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what would you say your number one marketing strategy has been so far in your business?
Up until this point, it's been word of mouth. Like I have great reviews from Google reviews or whatever, and then people ask, "Hey, who do you use for a home inspector?" If somebody asks on Facebook, local group, I'll get 10 or 12 people, "Hey, use Keystone." So word of mouth has been really helpful for me, and that's one thing that I think the quality of my work comes out. The people that I have worked for, would recommend me, and that's the greatest recommendation I could ask for.
So are you currently tracking leads? Do you use any kind of software, CRMs or anything to track your leads and
So,
progress?
yes, so the inspection software that I use is pretty advanced. It does allow for tracking that. So if I have a lead that came from somewhere that I don't know where it came from, I do a pretty good job about asking, hey, where did you find me? You know, where did my name come up? And I
Mhm.
try to track that. But like I said, most of the time it's word of mouth. So, you know, hey, so and so recommended you, or I got your name from XYZ Realtor. And so it's been pretty easy to track, but I am seeing a lot of organic Google business right now.
Well, we spent some time focused on the business, sharing a few best practices for our audience. I would love to take a step back and dive into your journey a bit.
Sure.
Why did you choose to go into business for yourself opposed to working for someone else? Yeah. And what was
So
the transition like for you?
so um looking back, I've always kind of been or kind of had that entrepreneurial attitude. I remember as a kid, like um, growing Indian corn and selling it to the local floral shop to use for their fall arrangements. When I was 10 or 12 years old, and I've always just had that attitude of what can I do to do something better, or move and set myself apart. So as a I always, even work when I was working full time for somebody else, I was always looking for, that side gig, or something to even just stay busy. And then it hit me one day, like, hey, I have all this experience in the construction industry. Let me put that to good use. I can be a home inspector, because in the construction industry, you learn a whole lot about the whole building process, which is what makes a really great home inspector. You kind of have to know about the whole building process, not just framing or not just siding. It's where everything comes in together. And so I just kind of took that jump. I um, took a course to figure out how to inspect a house, and so it was one of the struggles was I started out part-time, and I probably should have went full-time sooner. So that's kind of one of my regrets there. But looking back, we can't change anything. So I'm glad that I went full-time when I did, and it's been like I said, it's been a good ride. So
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, as you look back on your journey so far, I'm sure starting at COVID was a big hurdle
yeah.
on itself, right? But what has been most memorable roadblock or hurdles you have challenged with that you were forced to overcome?
Well, COVID was a pretty big one. Um, yeah, it was not something that I really intended to do at that time. It was kind of a situation where with the schools, we have young kids, so our kids were going to be going to school part-time. We're like, oh man, what do we do with our kids, because we both work full-time? And so it was a not anything planned. So part of that big initial hurdle was, how do we make it work to get enough business to support a family and
Mhm.
still make this whole life thing work?
Yeah.
So that was it was slow for a few months, for the first few months, because we were, it was during a pandemic. It was just weird.
Yeah.
And so that was probably one of the biggest hurdles to overcome, is
Mhm.
how do we start this without all of the back planning that you would normally have when you start a business? You know, you have months and months to plan for, hit the ground running and go. And we just did it on like a month notice. So we made it work, and it's the rest is history at this point. So
Yeah, that was a big transition for a lot of people in that COVID. It created new opportunities for people. It changed, like video calling and all that
yeah.
stuff. Do you think if it wasn't for COVID that you would have made that leap to owning your business right away, or it was already in the forefront?
I had thought about it, like, because I had been part-time for a couple years, just doing after hours, nights and weekends type of situation. So it was in the back of my mind, but it was always that fear of taking the jump, making that leap. And because once you do that, it's really tough to go back.
Mhm.
And so COVID kind of forced my hand, and I'm very thankful for that, because I may have been indecisive without that, and who knows where I'd be. But I'm thankful for it, and it's been a good learning experience for sure.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, now let's fast track and look at what comes next. Where do you see your business in the next 3 to 5 years?
Like I said, I've been a single owner for the whole time. And I would like to get to a point. I don't want to grow to a point where I lose the connection with people, because that's one thing that I really enjoy. I really enjoy the education part of it, where I can go and teach people how their house works. And hey, this is how you shut your water off, and this is how you change your furnace filter, stuff that a first time home buyer doesn't know. And I really enjoy that part of my business, but I would like to grow to a point where I can also take a 2 week vacation at the end of the year and my business doesn't stop. So
Mhm.
I'm kind of in a weird sweet spot where I'm almost to that point, but I don't really want to cross the line, because having employees, that brings a whole nother level of responsibility and headache that I just don't know if I am there yet.
Yeah.
But like I said, I really like the ability to have the control over the quality of the product that I give out.
So when thinking of the future in business, I feel it's important to address topics of building a great team. And I know right now you're solopreneur, and you want to keep that focus on that customer. But what would you put in place to help you keep that great customer service when you start to make the leap? What do you think you would need to put in place?
Um, a lot of that I think would probably be on the job training. Whoever I would bring in, it would probably be a slower hiring process. That, hey, this is what I expect, and this is what my clients and realtors expect. And
Mhm.
so, this is the quality of product. And I think it's a a tougher thing to find somebody. Like I said, nobody's going to care about your business the way that you do. And so trying to find somebody that has that same care of quality is tough.
Yeah.
But it was probably just a longer vetting process, maybe.
How would you describe your leadership style in business? Has it changed over the years?
um so I don't, like I said, not having employees, I don't have like that firsthand experience with running my business. As a quote leader,
Yeah.
but I do have leadership experience in the military. I've been in the military for 14 years, so I do have a little bit of that. Um, it has changed. It's different, when you actually get to that leadership role and see, oh, this is nothing like I thought leadership was. It's a lot more listening and seeing, okay, this is what my people want or say, and just hearing them and listening instead of, some bosses are, well, you're going to do this because this is what I say and I'm the boss, and that's not leadership at all.
Mhm.
So it has changed, just from the leadership experience that I have in the military. you know it's more it's more of a humble sort of position than I guess I ever thought about looking at from the outside.
Yeah. Yeah. Based on your current climate, as far as you as a solopreneur, where do you see yourself needing to grow in the next 6 months as far as your business skills and taking your business to the next level?
So growing in the next 6 months, like I said, it's my my biggest goal for this year is growing to the point of being consistently busy. So my my 6 month goal is a little bit of marketing, um, but then just focusing on my time management. So if I have a day where I only have one inspection, what am I going to do for that other 3 or 4 hours that I can do something, you know, using that time wisely, whether it's building a new relationship or working on an existing relationship. It's at the end of the day, it's all a people based business. No matter what sort of business you're in, it's all people based. And so
Uh-huh.
figuring out where do I invest my time and do it wisely that will push me forward.
Okay, nice, nice. Well, we have certainly covered a lot of ground in the conversation today. For those who are watching, I highly encourage that you save this and come back a few times for additional watches. A lot of great information and nuggets in here. As we begin to wrap up, I have a few rapid fire questions, quick, top of the head answer questions. So, what is the key to success for you?
Probably consistency, just doing the right thing consistently enough that you get good results.
Awesome. What is your one piece of advice for other business owners?
Um, just take the jump. If you're struggling with worrying about, hey, do I do this? Do I do that in order to grow? Just take action and make that movement forward to make it work.
Yeah. So I said behind me, right? The biggest risk you can take is doing nothing.
Oh yeah, it's a business killer for sure.
What is one book you are reading now or have read recently?
So I drive a lot, so I read a lot of audiobooks. And I
Okay.
just finished one called The Power of Habit. And it is a great book. And so I just finished that one, and I just started um 12 Lessons for Life by Jordan Peterson.
Awesome. Nice. Very nice. If you had to choose only one area of your business you could immediately improve tomorrow, what would it be?
Oh, marketing. So that's the one thing that I figured out that I need for 2024. And so if I can improve one thing, it's great marketing.
Awesome. Yes. Before we get to our final question of the day, how can others learn more about you and your company? how can they get in contact with you?
So you can go to my website. It's keystone-inspections.com. You can book online there. You can reach out via email. It's inspectiowa@gmail.com. And I'm pretty available. Like I said, when you call me or email me, I'm the one that answers.
Awesome. What is most inspiring you today?
It's my family. It's the reason I get up in the morning and, trying to put food on the table, for my kids. They definitely push me to do better and be better.
Awesome. Yeah, family is always, that's my number one too, is family as well. So I just want to thank you for your time. A lot of great stuff in here, the consistency, taking those leaps, right? The first step is, of success is just taking that success.